like to thank God for giving us this food today. I love y'all, I appreciate y'all. Even though I don't sometimes answer y'all text messages or phone calls, and I thank God for y'all because through, my accidents or, my mishaps, y'all never treated me different or, talked about me for all I know. I got a nutritionist now, so think about me when y'all eat this good food.
Even with a major date quickly approaching, Spence makes sure to keep his closest people near him. He wouldn't be heading toward boxing greatness without those who have been with him since the very beginning.
I'm not one of those guys that can do training camp for 10 weeks and not be able to see my family and friends. It's one of my favorite aunties. I ain't gonna say my favorite because my other auntie over there, so.
I'm the golden aunt.
These people that support me since day one.
This is his mom who loves him dearly.
Yeah, I'm glad I have it. A lot of guys at my level don't. This is my big sister, Ebony. She the one that really probably taught me how to fight. She used to beat me up all the time. This is my little sister. I feel like it doesn't matter how much success or money I gain. They're always gonna be the same. They're always gonna be here for me, whether I'm at the top or I'm at the bottom. This is my girlfriend. Hey, who I love.
It's important for champion fathers to pass down key lessons, like the one Spence recently shared with young Errol. The third win, whether in a pop quiz, a shot, or a championship bout, is what it takes to claim the prize. In this case, the Pokemon reward.
I want to leave something behind for my kids. I want to leave something behind for, my nieces and nephews and, mom and dad and things like that. So for me, it's still about working hard and staying focused.
Summer in Dallas brings temperatures averaging over 95 degrees. And inside the world-class boxing gym, it's at least 10 to 15 degrees hotter. With Errol Spence Jr. in the middle of his 30th professional fight camp, it's just another intense sparring session. 2 different sparring partners, 14 rounds, and 42 minutes of non-stop work.
Everybody's right who say he's not going to be the same. He's going to be better. So much better than he ever was. His body is well rested. He feels really good. Everything is going great. And as you saw today, his punches are fluid. He's strong. And he's throwing the punches where I think he should throw them. And, the defense is looking good. So everything is going great. And, hey, everybody that's thinking he don't have anything left, just wait.
Knowing what I can do and knowing that what I want to do, I don't see him coming back anytime soon or ever. Outside the ring is nothing but respect. I respect his legacy. I respect him as a person. I respect his humility and things like that. But once that bell rings, once you get in the ring, all the respect goes out the window. It's basically a young line on the old line, and I'm gonna take his king.
There's nothing left to say and no more promises to make. From this point forward, every bit of energy is being saved for one night, one opponent, and one chance to remind the boxing world exactly who Errol Spence Jr. still believes he is.
The Tszyu name was always something that was very strong to me and to everyone else in Australian and global boxing.
We looked at Tszyu as the pinnacle of boxing. That Tszyu level was the highest level of boxing you can get to.
My dad was he used to use his front hand like this. He used to measure, he used to have this deadly power. I come more in punches and bunches, while he's more of that one hand thump. I remember sparring him once and I could feel his thump. What my dad achieved and what he's done and how he is as a boxer, it's only going to be one Tszyu ever. My dad had a rock star life when you're young, even when you're 7 years old, you're walking down the street and it's like, why are there people coming up to us? Why are we driving a car that everyone looks at? My parents, they came from a Soviet Union type of life. I remember my mum saying that at 21 years old, it was her first time tasting Coca-Cola.
But if Errol Spence is getting ready to remind the world who he is, Tszyu is just as determined to make sure that comeback ends with him. Fighting in front of his hometown fans in Australia, Tszyu isn't stepping into this event just to protect his reputation. He's walking in with the belief that this is the night he proves he belongs among boxing's best.
My parents did everything for me to not box. But at the same time, I was sort of always stuck in the boxing gym. Like this gym that we're in now, it's been a place of home since I was a young kid. I became pretty good at it.
He came to me, I want to fight, I want to go professional.
Those types of weight on my shoulders were there from such a young age. The expectation of people that as soon as I was born, they thought I was a superhero straight away.
We don't lose. No such thing as losing for us.
When we heard that there was another Tszyu, Tim, who I'd known since he was a little kid, the fact that he was about to go pro got everyone very, very excited. And the opportunities for Australian boxing seemed to be enormous.
And they always compared me to the sun. Well, the whole time I was sort of trying to create my own identity.
Every interview, every training clip, and every message coming out of his camp carries the same energy. He's not looking for a close decision. He's hunting for a statement. And what bigger statement is there than knocking out a former unified world champion making his long-awaited return? That's the opportunity sitting right in front of him. Tszyu understands that beating Errol Spence doesn't just add another win to his record, it changes the entire direction of his career. Home crowds can create huge pressure, but they can also fuel unforgettable performances. And Australia will be expecting one from its biggest boxing star.
In camp at home, he's in bed at 8 o'clock. It's a very strict regime.
Look, he's an elite fighter. For him to achieve what he wants to achieve, it's not just nutrition, training, recovery, mindset.
He's got a will to win, almost like Michael Jordan has that will to win back in the day with the ball. He had that I can't be beaten type attitude. He has a target to get to. And he's going to get to that target whether you're in front of him or 10 people are in front of him or he's fighting 20 people at once. He's possessed, like he's possessed to reach his target.
Meanwhile, Spence isn't flying across the world to be a supporting character in someone else's story. That's what makes this clash so compelling. One man is chasing redemption after years away from the spotlight, while the other wants to defend his turf and announce that this is now his division to rule. In 10 days, emotions, predictions, and headlines won't matter anymore. The only thing that will matter is who can impose their will when the opening bell rings. Sometimes boxing gives us a fight where both men believe destiny is on their side. And those are usually the nights that become unforgettable.
200 baht. Okay? How do I turn this thing on?
Off the camera, Tim is a bloody funny guy, yeah. He loves shopping. Oh, God.
Like clothes shopping?
Clothes shopping, man. Everything, yeah, clothes shopping, of course.
But they're the newest release, that's why I sort of got them.
Yeah, these ones.
Yeah, I got them in Italy. They were handcrafted in the Netherlands.
He has a lot of clothes.
But while we've been talking about the pressure on Tim Tszyu's shoulders, Errol Spence has quietly landed in Australia looking like a man who couldn't care less whose backyard he just walked into. I actually loved the first impression. Spence wasn't trying to play the tough guy every second. He took time to appreciate the Aboriginal welcome, called the experience dope, and you could tell he genuinely respected the moment. Then, almost without warning, the switch flipped. Once the conversation turned toward Tszyu, the smiles disappeared. When the reporter asked what he planned to say to Tim, Spence practically shrugged it off, saying he had no words for him. And honestly, that might be louder than any trash talk. Some fighters need microphones. Others would rather let their fists do the talking. Then came the line that caught my attention. Spence said he's a big fish coming to take over Tszyu's backyard.
I'm enjoying myself out here and I can't wait for Sunday.
What does the next 10 days look like?
Just, a lot of training, probably some media stuff, but just staying focused, going over the game plan in the gym and getting ready.
What was the reasoning behind the move to 160?
It wasn't no reason. I was like, why fight at 150? Why fight at 158 when mine was to fight at the weight limit 160? I mean, why not?
And now we have a completely different type of confidence entering this fight. It's not loud confidence. It's the kind that assumes the result is already written. I also found his explanation about fighting at 160 interesting because there was no drama, no excuses, just why not fight at the limit? That sounds like someone focused on the opponent instead of the number on the scale. And did you notice how relaxed he looked talking about fighting overseas? Spence reminded everyone that this is nothing new for him, pointing back to his amateur days and previous trips abroad. Meanwhile, everyone keeps talking about Australia as if it's some secret weapon for Tszyu. Home crowd advantage is real, but the ropes are still the same size, and punches don't lose power because they cross an ocean. If anything, Spence arrived looking comfortable, respectful, and completely convinced that he's about to spoil the biggest party Australia has planned all year.
Process and, when I come out, hopefully everybody won't boo me and put on a great show.
What do you make of Tszyu's demeanour throughout the last couple of weeks and some of the things that he said?
I might have really been paying attention to Tszyu, but his demeanor always been like that, so that's why I really just don't care for him.
And what about your message to him now you're on his backyard now?
I don't have no message for him. I'm the big fish. I'm gonna take over his backyard.
Funny thing is, if you listen to Tszyu right after hearing Spence talk, you realize both men believe they're walking into the exact same movie, except each one has himself playing the hero. I actually respect how calm Tszyu sounded here because there was no desperate sales pitch. He kept repeating that this is the best version of himself. And usually when fighters keep saying that, I raise an eyebrow. This time though, he backed it up with real reasons. Tszyu explained that staying home, bringing Jeff Fennick into camp, and finally learning when to slow down instead of trying to win training camp by 100 points every day has completely changed how he feels. That caught my attention more than any prediction. Sometimes the most dangerous fighter isn't the one training harder, it's the one training smarter. Then Tszyu started talking about Spence, and I noticed he never dismissed him.
From what Spence can expect from you?
I feel like I'm sort of like rejuvenated to a certain extent. I feel like I'm a bit refreshed. I feel better than ever, I'll be honest with you, in every certain department, physically, mentally. So Spence has to expect the best version.
He gave Spence credit for his work rate, admitted he still has that dog in him, but also hinted that this version of Errol might be fighting with different motivations. Now, when Tszyu mentioned money, legacy, and fighters reaching the later stages of their careers, it almost sounded like he believes Spence is chasing one last mountain while he's still climbing toward the top. And then the gloves came off. Tszyu called Spence arrogant, said he thinks Errol looks down on him, and finished by saying he wants Spence questioning himself from the opening rounds, even joking that ideally he'd make him quit. That's a massive statement. But what I found even more interesting was the confidence behind it. Tszyu isn't trying to win a press conference. He's trying to plant doubt before the first bell ever rings. Now we have two fighters who both think the other man is about to experience a rude awakening, and somebody's confidence is about to collide with reality in the middle of that ring.
It's 50-50, like, of course, we're not supposed to like each other before the fight. That's part of the thing. But yeah, I think he's got a certain arrogance about him, and that could be because he made a ton of money and doesn't really need to be doing this and that type of stuff, and he really thinks down of myself, but that's all right. When we get in the ring, I really just want to hurt him. It's quite simple. That's what boxing's about.
And just when both fighters finished making their cases, Ronnie Shields stepped in and somehow made the entire build-up feel even more interesting without trying to steal the spotlight. That's what I like about veteran trainers. They're usually the last people interested in winning the press conference. Ronnie immediately shut down the idea that Spence had been sitting around doing nothing for 3 years, saying Errol never stopped training and stayed in the gym simply because that's who he is. I think a lot of fans overlook that staying active without a fight on the calendar is completely different from scrambling into shape after signing a contract. Then came the funniest moment of the interview. The reporter kept asking about the jump to 160, and Ronnie basically looked like someone who'd just been handed a pop quiz he never studied for. He almost brushed it aside with, "It doesn't make a difference. And honestly, that response tells you where their focus really is.
Is there a reason behind getting that weight, and was that a push from you guys?
No, actually it wasn't, you know. Errol never stopped training. That's what people don't understand, is that for the 3 years he was old, he was still training, you know, so, but he had no idea he was going to fight. He was just doing it for health reasons. And then he decided one day, you know what, I'm going to try it again. And so that's when I got the call, and here we are.
They're not flying across the world chasing belts or debating numbers on a scale. Ronnie even said Spence isn't doing this for titles anymore, which lines up with what we've already been hearing about legacy and taking the biggest opportunities left. I also noticed how little attention he was paying to Tsyu's camp. When asked if he had watched any footage, Ronnie practically dismissed the idea and said he was more concerned with making sure their own game plan was right. Some people will call that confidence, others will call it dangerous. Either way, it fits this team's mindset perfectly. And when the knockout question came up, Ronnie gave the answer every old-school trainer seems to love. He's not training for a knockout, he's training for 12 rounds. Because if the finish comes naturally, great. And if it doesn't, the preparation is already there. That calm attitude almost feels like the complete opposite of the noise surrounding this fight. And sometimes that's exactly what makes experienced corners so dangerous when the bell finally rings.
It's been great, man. Really, really great. He's feeling great, and he just feels so excited to come to Australia.
I must say, the footage I have seen of Jamal, he does, for someone that's been through some dark times, he does seem to have found the light, if you call it that, but like, he's looking really good. He looks really positive.
Oh man, let me tell you something. He's ready for that championship run. So, and we're gonna start it here in Australia.
There are rumours that Jamel might be out here to support Errol and potentially face off with the winner in the ring. Is there any, I mean, you work with his brother. Can you give us an insight?
I haven't heard anything about that. So, don't know, don't care. It doesn't matter. You know, after we win, then we'll fight Jamel. That's what we have to do, fight him next.
So now the stage is finally set. Spence believes this is the beginning of one last championship run. Tszyu believes this is the night he proves the division belongs to him. And both camps sound completely convinced they're holding the winning hand. Confidence has never been the issue. The question is, whose confidence survives once the punches start landing? Does Spence remind everyone why he was once considered one of the most complete fighters in boxing? Or does Tszyu defend his home turf and stop one of the biggest comeback stories before it ever gets going? I want to hear your predictions. Who wins this fight and how does it end? Drop your thoughts down in the comments because this one is guaranteed to divide boxing fans. And yo, don't ever forget to like, share, and subscribe to Ring Nation. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.